Yeah, perfect. Well, we'll move on to the next matchup. It's a little bit more exciting. San Francisco against Pittsburgh. There are a whole host of options that we could be playing in lineups, in whether that be redraft, dynasty, or DFS. Tom, who do you want to start with? Who's the player that in this matchup you want to try and get to as many lineups as possible?
With Deebo Samuel season, you and me, we've kind of been on different sides of this all off season. But Deebo Samuel, he's 5,500 on DraftKings this week. That is an absolute smash for me. Like, in terms of if you were looking for one play that I'm going to play all over the shop, it's going to be him. I think, we talk about last season when he wasn't necessarily healthy the whole year, and it impeded what he was able to produce down the stretch. Deebo Samuel's healthy. When it gets to week one, stop worrying about players being injured and play those guys. We saw that in the games that he played with Christian McCaffrey, his touches per game dropped from 8.0 to only 7.8. That's marginal difference. He's going to be the first read plenty of the time. The Pittsburgh Steelers, we know they've got a great pass rush. We know they can come after the quarterback. So if the first read is going to be Deebo Samuel, I want it to be Deebo Samuel. I think the Steelers have got all players at linebacker, safety, cornerback. So you want to get the ball out quickly and let pace beat those players. I don't mind playing Brandon Ayuk at all at 4.9K. I think, in terms of in managed leagues, you start all your Niners. I think you can start Brock Purdy as well. I think obviously you start George Kittle if it sounds like he's going to be healthy, because you probably have enough draft capital invested in that you have to. On the Steelers side of things, you kind of have to start Najee if you drafted him. I mean, this game might be the kind of one which comes away from Najee Harris, because the San Francisco defensive line is absolutely going to have fun with the Steelers offensive line. And it might turn into the kind of game where Kenny Pickett is having to get the ball out quickly, and Jaylen Warren might be a good play. But you have to be able to start a player that you drafted in the top 6 rounds of a draft in the first week.
Yeah, I think the player I'm most concerned about in this matchup is Pat Freiermuth. We know that Fred Warner's one of the best linebackers in the league, but where he's elite is that his range in that middle of the field is phenomenal. And I think that he's going to have the ability to potentially take away a guy like Pat Freiermuth, who's that underneath option. Which then makes me think that Kenny Pickett's going to be forced to throw the ball outside, which makes me more excited about a guy called Deontay Johnson, who, let's be honest, I don't need any opportunity to talk about more. So we can move on and leave Deontay Johnson on the back burner, because if you've got Deontay, you're starting.